Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first Built From Scratch podcast. I'm your host, Sharon Hunneybell, and I'm joined here today with Rob Verhoeve from Local Card Shop. Welcome, Rob.
Hello, Sharon. How are you going today?
I'm going well. I'm excited to talk to you about your business.
I'm excited to be here, to be honest.
That's good.
Yeah, it's cool.
So, look, tell me a little bit about Local Card Shop and what you do.
Okay, so Local Card Shop, 3 years ago, me and two other guys, two business partners, we decided that Brisbane didn't have a card shop that catered for sports cards. Lots of people had Pokemon and all the rest of it, but no one for sports cards. And being three old blokes that love their sports and love their trading cards, we saw a spot in the market. So we went and found a premises out at Woolloongabba, which was very close to the football and cricket ground there, which kind of fit really well with us. And we started a Local Card Shop.
That's amazing. Now, just tell me about your history with card collecting, though. Is this something you've done since you were a little boy, or is this something you got into as you were older?
Look, it was one thing. I was probably about 7.
Yeah.
And I would go and help my mum with the grocery shopping, and my reward was 1 packet of cards.
Oh, bless.
And she would give me 20 cents out of the shopping money, and she'd tell me not to tell my father. And I'd run down to the milk bar down there in Victoria, they were called, and I'd buy a packet of cards, and I'd have to come back to Mum to give her the packet of cards because there was a piece of chewing gum in there that I was not allowed to have. And so she would open up the packet, take the chewing gum, and give me the cards, and I would be just lost in a world of excitement with these cards. And there was, if you look back at what they were like then compared to what they're like today, there was nothing to them. They were just a plain picture on a plain card. Sometimes the pictures made no sense. But I would sit there, and one of the things, if people around my age would remember, you'd sit there and you'd go, need that, got that. Oh, Steve wants this one.
Yeah.
And that was the excitement. So that's where it all started. And then, I guess as I got older and things get in the way, I guess, of a hobby like that, and we see this a lot, that later on, probably when I got to about 30 again, I probably didn't collect much for about 10 years, got to 30 in my 30s and was like, oh, I can now afford to do that again, and found myself buying the cards that I had as a kid that I should have kept in good condition. But
and
anyway.
What was your sport of choice for your cards?
I'm a Victorian, so it was AFL.
AFL, nice.
So I loved all that. It was great.
Oh, that's amazing. And so tell me a little bit more about the Local Card Shop that you set up. So what's the average demographic that comes in? Is it those kids with their pocket money, or? The
kids with the pocket money, they're great. We love the kids with the pocket money, and they certainly come in. And when we say that they can be from the age of 5 onwards, coming in for that purpose, that's not wrong. The hobby, though, has probably taken a turn for the worse in some ways with the cost of everything. So, back in the days, 20 cents for a packet of cards, that just doesn't happen anymore. So we love to have those kids in because they're the future of the hobby. And when we created the shop, what we wanted to do was provide everybody with a place that they could go like we went as kids. Because the online aspect had taken over of sports trading cards, but we've got screens there that are playing the basketball and the football whenever the games are on, and we want people to come down and just enjoy that part of it, have a chat about cards. So to say from 5 years old to 75 years old would be accurate because we have everyone that comes in.
Wow.
And everyone's different, and that's the thing that we love.
Oh, that's so cool. And I'm just trying to picture what it must be like to go to work each day in a room full of TV screens with your favourite sports stars playing, watching people, fulfill their own joy of doing the thing that you loved so much. So talk to me a little bit about, I know you've sort of said the business reason why you set up the business, but can we talk a little bit about what it felt like to be able to start this business from a personal level?
From a personal level, it was amazing because I wanted to create something, or the team, that we wanted to create something that everybody could enjoy. And as I said, Mum gave me 20 cents to buy a packet of cards. Well, I'd worked for 30 years in a bank, and my mum was very sick, and she told me at one stage, well, it was in fact the last thing she ever told me was, do something for yourself for a change. And I walked in and resigned from the bank the next day, and I don't know why, I just did. Yeah. And I told her that, and she was like, she seemed happy, but it was the last thing she ever said. And so I was really I wanted to create something that she'd be proud of, but she was always so supportive of me in that hobby. So, she did a lot of things over the years for me that, were just to help me, and she knew that it was a great stress relief for me, and that's something that we see in other clients that come into the shop now.
Oh, absolutely. I think, as a parent, there's nothing that you want more in this world than knowing that your kids are happy, right? So she must be very happy now seeing you
so.
here. How long did you say that it's been since you established the shop?
3 years, but it was pretty much 4 years ago that I left the bank. Made the decision, and I was doing other things in between, and that's when I met my business partners, and it was like one thing led to another, and they both looked at me and said, well, why don't we do this? So a few different trials of names later. Thank God Big Rob's card shop didn't win the vote, but local card shop did. So, and we've now got, I think we've got a great name in the community.
Big Rob, Big Kev, he was big in the day.
He was big. He was actually one of my clients in the bank, Big Kev.
No way.
No, he was. And he was Big Kev everywhere he went. He was amazing.
That's it. So if you wanted to build a brand around yourself, you could have gone that way. But I agree. Now you can just hide in the back of the shop, right?
Well, that's right. Yeah, it's a bit hard to hide when you are Big Rob, but it's great fun.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the business behind the shop, and let's talk about the actual collectibles industry, because this is a growing industry, right? I hear about it a lot. As I think I've said to you prior to the show, my partner is big on collecting figurines, and Marvel, yes, that's right.
So when we opened the shop, we were going to be a sports shop, sports card shop when we opened. So that was easy, because that's what we knew. And then we found out that, heck, that was only a small part of what the collectibles industry or the collectibles hobby is all about. So for us in the store, we now run, they call them TCG games, trading card games. That's your Pokemon, One Piece, Magic the Gathering. 7 days a week we have people in the store playing those games. We have an upstairs room that is just for them. And they come in, and they're an amazing group of people. All shapes and sizes, all backgrounds, and they just come to play their games and they have a great time. So we learnt that. So we now, sports cards would probably take up about 30 or 40% of our business. Right. And the Pokemon and the One Piece and the Magic the Gathering takes up the rest. And we've had to bring in someone who specialises in that just so that we can learn.
Wow.
I had an 8-year-old kid come in a couple of weeks ago, and I said, look, you should teach me how to play Pokemon. And he said, Rob, I can teach anyone to play Pokemon, but you're old. And but we're learning slowly. And my goal is to, within 12 months, I'm going to play in a Pokemon tournament. I know that I'll get schooled by an 8-year-old. I don't care, because I love having a bit of fun. So, it's just changed massively even in the 3 years to now. We've got a store that it's just fantastic, and it has everything in it.
That's amazing. And it's interesting that that's sort of the playing of the games is where it's going. So I guess this completely moves away from what you're doing at the moment, but I'm interested then in esports.
Yep.
So are you seeing that sort of moving through? Is there a presence of esports in collectibles now, or is it still really just an online gaming?
It's an online gaming gaming platform, the esports. But like everything, and we spoke a little bit before about the different platforms that we sell on. It's not just the store. These kind of things are taking over. So there are esports trading cards.
Yep.
So where they've made trading cards of these esports champions.
Yep.
We did stock them for a little while. I think they're still in the shop. If anyone wants to hit me up, they can probably have them for free. But like anything, that all sports are changing the platforms. We change the platforms as we go ahead too, and open up different opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. I don't know what else to ask.
Talk about the platforms.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about the platforms that you sell on.
Well, obviously the traditional store. So trading cards in general went to this boom online.
Yeah.
eBay revolutionised the market. 20 or 30 years ago, when my wife and I went to the local car boot sales at the Cannon Hill markets here in Brisbane, every second weekend we'd go. The only way you could get your cards was to go to to the markets and get your cards or do whatever. Now, then eBay comes and it's like, oh, we can all put our cards on there and everyone knows what everyone's got and everyone knows what it's worth. And then Facebook Marketplace comes along and this and that and the rest of it. But we wanted to go back to that store where people could come in and actually talk to Rob or talk to Chris or Brett or whoever's there and chat about cards, chat about the basketball that's being played or chat about Pokemon, whatever it is. So we wanted to go forward. So we went and developed this shop and it worked brilliantly for that. But now we're really starting to see other channels open up. So there's an online platform at the moment that we're super keen to get involved in a bigger way, and it's called Whatnot.
Right.
Which I think's a strange name, but it's a massive platform, and it was massive in the United States, and now they're spreading out, and they've brought Australia online, and we can sell on this platform where you get on there, and it's like eBay, but it's live. So I'm sitting there with my phone in front of me, showing the cards,
right,
and putting a card there, saying, "Okay, Savages, bid on this card," and they'll go bang, 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 and they'll bid, and then next minute it'll say so and so has won this card, and then you do the next one.
All right, so do I get to set a time frame? Like
15
I say,
seconds.
Everyone's just 15 seconds.
Oh, you can go up to 30, I think, but I like
Right.
the 15 seconds because it means there's less time to
goodness.
make up rubbish to talk about in between. But it's fantastic.
But also that fear of missing out that would come in when you've only got 15 seconds.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, I bet there'll be so many people bidding more than they should.
But you see it, and what I did, because we just did our first ever live stream on that last week, and it went fantastic. But I watched a lot of different people do it, in the meantime, in the lead up to see what I needed to do. And the one thing that I noticed was the ones that had the bigger followings are people that gave you a bit of entertainment as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not immune to having a bit of fun, poking fun at myself.
Yeah.
Be careful if you come on one of my streams, because if you've got a funny name as your username, I'm probably going to have a joke about it, because I like to provide a bit of entertainment as well. And the feedback that we got from the first show was overwhelmingly like, we're going to come back and watch your show because that was fun.
Nice.
And so that's definitely.
How long does a show run for?
Okay, how long does a Rob show run for? Or how long does an average one run for? Some of these American guys will run the shows 24/7.
Wow.
So the store will have a Whatnot stream going, and then someone else will come in and they'll take over, and someone else will come over.
Oh my goodness, like a casino.
Oh, crazy. And I've watched a few of those, and they're really cool.
Yeah.
A little bit Americanized for my liking, because they're very full on. But for myself, I'm going to keep it to 2 to 3 hours to start with before we start venturing into too much craziness.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, I had a ball, and definitely the people that were part of the stream, they seem to enjoy it. So we run those now. Well, they will be 3 nights a week coming up. So
excellent.
it's good fun. It's a good way for us to publicise our business.
Yep.
And it's not Whatnot is not just a trading card platform. It's for anyone who wants to sell something online.
Right.
So anyone that uses eBay can technically use Whatnot. And I've seen people selling coins. Some people just selling silver and gold. Some people selling used clothes,
right.
shoes. Sneakers is a big one.
Yeah.
Don't ever let anyone start collecting sneakers, 'cause they are insane sneaker collectors. So and they spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a pair of shoes.
Oh my goodness.
So
we're so weird, us humans, aren't we?
We are. We're crazy, and I think you said before, the FOMO of a platform like Whatnot is unparalleled. People are they're getting on there, and then what they do is they do things like we run giveaways.
Yeah.
So we might sell 5 cards, and we say, okay, we're going to do a giveaway. Anyone who follows our page, just click the button, and you'll go into the giveaway, and then Whatnot actually draws a random winner. And people love that kind of stuff, and it's good fun.
And so do you know what days and time frames you're going to be on there? Like,
can
our listeners follow along?
Yeah, absolutely. So you go to Whatnot and look up local card shop AUS.
Yep.
For local cards. So, and at the moment we're doing Tuesdays and Wednesday nights from 7:00. But that will increase to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, I think, in the next few weeks as we get. Because the biggest thing for us is to get the process right and make sure that we can meet the demands of what the show does. Because if you sell 75 cards in an hour and a half, you need to post those 75 cards in an hour. So we've got a process that we trialled the first time, and it worked brilliantly. The quicker we can get them turned around, the more we'll do.
And what's the average price that someone's paying for a trading card?
on these streams, the first stream we did, we started every auction at $1.
Right.
So they were nice, cheap cards. Some of them sold for $25, $30.
Yeah.
A few of them. Most of them sold between $1 and $3, that kind of thing, because they were just, they were cheaper cards that people like. So, but I've seen some streams. If you want to know what a trading card, what would you say a trading card would sell for? The biggest trading card in the world?
Oh my goodness, I have no idea, but I suspect for a collector and a massive fan, there'd have to be people out there that would pay, $1 million?
$12.5 million a card sold for 2 weeks ago.
Wow, and what was it?
It was a NBA card.
Yeah.
And it was of 3 players with a little bit of their jerseys in the card.
Right.
And $12.5 million.
That is incredible.
So Post Malone, the singer, he recently bought a Magic the Gathering card for $1 million.
Wow.
And there was this big bounty on that card. Everyone was looking for this card, and
he found it.
Yeah, no, he didn't find it. Someone found it, and someone offered him $100,000, and all these people started getting into a bidding war. And Post Malone just came in and said, "I'll give you $1 million for that card, and I'll fly you to the States so that we can hand it over together."
How good would that be?
I've never seen one of those cards.
Yeah.
But we've got cards in our shop that are $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 to buy a card. Mostly they are Pokemon, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But there are people out there that spend it, and I guess that's the other side of the hobby. There are definitely three sides to this coin. That's a great Robert phrase. You've got the hobbyists, the collectors, the people that just love collecting things. That's me. That's how I started. Then you've got this bunch of people that have come in and they're investors.
Yep.
So they see the value in some of them, like a box of original Pokemon sells for $30,000.
Wow.
Right, so they buy boxes of cards now and they don't even open them. They keep them sealed.
Yep.
Not a lot of fun, but they're investors.
Yes.
And then you've got what we call the flippers, and there's people that now they'll go around when Pokemon comes out, they'll go and buy as much as they can at recommended retail so they can double their money and sell it to the investors for twice the amount.
And can they sell as sets and things like that? Like once they've collected,
They can, but there's
That's
so
not
much.
where the money is?
No, there's so much product opened these days, and they all have the rarer cards.
Right.
So they're all chasing these rare cards, so they end up with these piles and piles and piles of the base cards that make up the sets.
Yeah.
And there's not a huge market in collecting of a set.
Yeah.
And some of the sets, so if I can use NBA for example, there'll be one card and there'll be 15 versions of that one card.
Right.
And you just can't collect that set. It's just too big. So people pick their favourite players, their favourite Pokemon character, their favourite wrestler or whatever it is.
Yep.
And there is literally everything.
Right. And is there an issue with quality and counterfeiting and things like that when selling online these days, or is that?
Here's one for you. There's a Michael Jordan rookie card which can sell for anything up to $70,000 or $80,000, there's probably, goodness knows, there's hundreds of thousands of these things in the wild, but not in great. A lot of them are not in great condition because they're back from 40 years ago. It's also the most counterfeited card in the world.
Yeah.
But I never understand this. Like, I'm not a counterfeiter, but if I was, I'd try and make it look the same.
Yeah, so they're very obviously counterfeit, are they?
You can tell there are dead giveaways on a Michael Jordan counterfeit card. The counterfeit cards still sell for $25 or $30.
Really?
Yep. There's still a demand for cards that are counterfeit. But
like knockoff handbags and things like that, right? As long as people are giving the impression they've got something.
And Pokemon is mass-produced, counterfeit mass-produced.
Wow.
So you've got to know what you're looking for. And that's where
where the real shops come in, right?
And if I gave you 2 Pokemon cards right now, you would be able to tell me which one's counterfeit.
Right.
When you hold the card and you see the card and you can feel the card, you can tell.
Yeah.
But you can't do that online.
Right,
and that's
right.
And that's why card stores, in my mind, are always going to exist and always going to have a place in the hobby. So, but counterfeit is something I've had to learn the Pokemon side of it all. The Australian sports, there's not a market to counterfeit them. There's not a big enough market. But when the market is big, like NBA and Michael Jordan, Pokemon, there's always going to be someone who's trying to take advantage.
Yeah, wow. Well, this has been amazing chatting to you. We've got about 5 minutes left of the podcast. And so what I wanted to do now was just do a final 5 quick fire 60-second questions for you.
I was really comfortable doing the podcast, and then I was really uncomfortable when you told me that I was going to have these rapid fire
really?
questions. No,
well,
not really.
Let's
I'm
see
ready
how
to go.
Let's see how you go. All right. Question number 1. What gets you out of bed each day?
What gets me tomorrow?
Yeah.
My mantra is now live for today, learn from yesterday. Live in today, learn from yesterday, and embrace tomorrow.
That's awesome. And you know what? Our second question was actually, do you have a quote or mantra that you live by?
That's exactly what it is.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Enjoy yourself.
I think I totally agree with you there. So tell me, what's the best thing that's happened in your business this year?
The best thing that's happened in my business this year, we've moved premises. We've gone from our original store at 793 Stanley Street, but should say that at some stage. But then we've moved to 906 Stanley Street.
Nice.
So we just moved down the road. It was fantastic. We've gone into a beautiful old Queensland building. Has upstairs and downstairs. It's got lots of natural light. It's got a car park, and that's the best thing for the business. But on the other side, the best thing is every single person you meet.
Yeah. I can imagine. Okay, what's your greatest learning from your business journey so far?
Is to put yourself out there. Take the feedback, listen to the feedback. Some of it you're going to not agree with, but that's the stuff you got to listen to most, because if you just want to hear good stuff all the time, you'll never improve. So listen to the feedback and just embrace it.
Totally agree. There's no such thing as bad feedback.
No.
And finally, what is your biggest goal for your business this year, and how can our listeners help you to achieve it?
Okay, so my biggest goal is to really build that online presence. So if people are listening or watching, check out our page, Local Card Shop, on our Facebook page, and come and give us a bit of a watch on that. Or if you know someone that likes collecting stuff, or likes to be entertained and likes to collect stuff, give them a link to our page. And I just want to see more people smile. If more people are smiling, makes me smile, and I smile a lot. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today. It's just been such a pleasure to meet someone who's been able to turn a childhood dream into a career. So well done.
And I think that a podcast like this is just awesome, because I'll certainly tune in to listen to other people's journeys and hopefully learn something from everyone.
Amazing. Thanks,
Sharon.
So much.